What's up, guys? So for today's video, I'm gonna make something quick where we'll go over how we can relieve pain in elbow and wrist tendonitis. So when it comes to tendonitis, you're feeling a lot of pain in your wrist, whether it be on the front or in the back, or in your elbow, by like your forearm, or by your tricep, or maybe even like right on the joint. Usually what it means is that your tendons and ligaments that attach to your muscle and bone are getting inflamed. And what we need to do is we need to reduce some of that inflammation. We need to open up some of the muscles around the joint in order to loosen it up. And if we do that enough over time, you'll actually start to feel a lot better, especially if you're able to catch it in the early stages. Now, I'm not a physical therapist. I'm a trainer, and I've experienced a lot of clients with this type of issue, and we found that through these mobilization drills, the stretching, and what I'm about to show you with this lacrosse ball has done absolutely wonders. So if you're able to catch it early and you take care of it early, you shouldn't have too much of a problem. But if it is something that's really serious, like you can't really live your life and it's just killing you all the time, you try some of these drills and it doesn't work, then I would definitely recommend that you go and see a physical therapist or a professional, because it's not a joke. You will eventually snap something and then it's just going to be worse. And I understand, like, maybe someone doesn't want to take off work or whatever, but you have to try to take care of yourself. But this is something that can be done on a daily basis, if not multiple times a day, and it will help you open up your forearms and open up your triceps a bit. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over what we're going to do with the lacrosse ball. So there's a few spots that we're going to want to apply some pressure in to relieve some tension. So the first thing is going to be in the tricep area right behind the arm. So what I'm doing is I'm just on my countertop in my kitchen, and I put this ball on the table. I'm going to just take my arm, put it on top, and I'm going to try to roll on it and find a spot. Now for me, I used to have some elbow issues where I would try to open up doors and it would hurt, and this used to kill me right on the bottom of the tricep here. And right now it's not too bad, so that's good. But you're going to find that spot where it feels really tight. So for most people, it's like right by the elbow. I'm going to apply pressure into it, and now I'm just going to let my arm extend. Hopefully you guys can see. All I'm doing is I'm just putting pressure into the lacrosse ball, and I'm opening on my elbow. Actually, this feels really, really good. I can actually feel my triceps really opening up. You can move it over a little bit, and oh yeah, when I have my arm out, it's definitely tighter. So it's good to go through multiple ranges of motion, especially towards the back by the shoulder. For me, this feels really tight. So you can find that spot on your tricep. Try to sit on there for like a minute if you can. Each spot, you want to try to roll your, if you can sit on the lacrosse ball with your tricep for like 3 minutes each side, you will feel like $1,000,000 after. So I'm here just on my tricep, and I'm just extending my arm out in order to loosen it up. And like I said, we're going to roll it up, and we're going to find new spots that feel tight. We're going to open up the elbow joint. Now, that's good if you're getting some elbow pain. And also, if you do get wrist pain, it can help as well. But we're going to really try to smash out these forearm flexors here that are like right on the top of the forearm that attach into the elbow right here, kind of like part of the brachialis. These muscles get really tight, especially if you're typing, if you're writing a lot, or you're incorrectly working out. So like for instance, if you're doing a lot of pressing exercises like this, you're probably going to start to get some wrist and elbow pain. You always want to make sure that your wrist is straight. Same thing if you're doing a pull exercise. If you're pulling, you don't want to curl your wrist. I see people do this all the time. They go for like a face pull, and they just do this. You got to come out here and rotate out. So you're going to make sure that you're moving correctly to prevent these things. But if you do start to get that inflammation there, maybe you cut hair, or you write, or you type a lot, then this is going to help you. So now I just take my forearm, and I'm just going to drive it in to the lacrosse ball. You know what actually would be easier? Instead of using the countertop, I'll show you this really quick. So you can use like a wall. So I have like this little beam right here. I'm going to take this and put it right in here. So hopefully you guys can see kind of what I'm doing here. So I'm driving my forearm into the ball. So right here, for me, I'm sorry that you guys can't really see. I don't really have anybody holding. Maybe I can get a different angle. Okay. driving it in. Now watch. I'm just gonna kind of move my fingers around. So I kind of want to get on the side. I really want to try to put some pressure in. Now watch. See, look, I just move my hands. Yeah, especially if I go right to the side here, this gets really, really tight. So you want to try to just find that spot that's tight. Sometimes it's on the side of the forearm. Sometimes it's even more towards the front part, right by your hands. You can kind of drive into that, but essentially you just want to try to find that spot that hurts. Like for me, that feels pretty damn tight, so I'm just going to roll my fingers like this. I'm going to roll my wrist like I'm doing some wrist curls, and I'm going to loosen that bad boy up right there. So I'm really trying to put some pressure in there. I'm rolling up and down. I'm moving my hand around, and I'm going to open up these joints. And with that, if you do that often, you should feel a huge reduction in your pain. Make sure you're doing it on both sides. You should feel a huge reduction in your pain in your elbow and wrist. And then we can start getting back into lifting properly. Big issue, making sure you're using your shoulder blades. But for some little 6-minute video here, if you want to learn how to mobilize. Oh, how could I forget, guys? How could I forget? One stretch I really wanted to show you guys. So what we do here is I'm just going to put the back of my hands onto a surface. So hold on one quick. All right, so I got next to this wall here, which is where we're going to do our 2 stretches for our triceps and our forearms. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a little physical therapy technique. I'm going to put my fingers on top of my wrist like that in order to confuse it, in order to reduce some of the, or increase the flexibility of it, reduce some of the tension. And I'm going to put the back of my hand right onto the wall, just like so. And when I do this, I want to try to bring it up as high as I can. My elbow is coming in like this, and I'm just going to put some pressure down as I open up those flexors. So I'm trying to keep the back of my hand right onto the wall. And if I have to, I can flare my elbow out a little bit. You might want to play around with the angle of your elbow. I can come out to the side here, really get a nice stretch. But that's essentially what you would do for your wrist. You can do the same idea, just bringing your hand underneath, bringing it up as high as you can while your palm stays flat. You're going to really open up the other part of your forearm, and you can do that on, obviously, you can do that on both sides here. So, stretching that out, coming in here, just open up your wrist a little bit with those stretches. I usually like to do the lacrosse ball first, and then for the final stretch, it's just going to be for your tricep. You're going to bring your elbow up, you're going to get onto the side of the wall here, and I'm just going to drive down. I'm going to open up my lats, open up my tricep here. And it should be nice. If you want to get a little bit of a deeper stretch in the tricep, I could just grab my elbow and I could pull it back here. And then I can really get in on that and really open it up. Sorry for the awkward camera angle, guys. I'm just trying to open up like that. Hey, what's up? How you doing? So that's how you can stretch out your tricep. If you see from this side, here, doing this, just applying pressure, keeping my elbow flat against the wall. So those are just some stretches and some tips for wrist and elbow pain. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments, and I will see you guys next time. That's awkward.